Hello, everyone. Thank you for providing Evidence-Based Management Solutions the opportunity to work with you on this project. My name is Eileen McCoy, and I will be presenting our findings. The other members of our consulting group are Kenny Galmai, Donna Jordan, and Tiffany Strom. First, we'll go through our organization analysis and then provide a brief overview of the evidence-based research process used during this project. We'll then present our findings and recommendations, along with proposed implementation and communication plans, and close with a few questions. So let's get started. SWOT analysis is used to help formulate strategy by reviewing an organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Based on EBM's limited knowledge of NAWCAD's business model and long-term objectives, we've developed a few points in each category. The primary goals of SWOT are to search for opportunities that match with strengths while mitigating weaknesses and addressing threats. The strengths and opportunities matching requires a more detailed internal review. NAWCAD already has plans in place to address the technical workforce issue identified as a weakness, and the express support of the new command structure will help with the environmental challenges in this category. The threat of potentially losing subject matter experts to competitors is also being addressed. The other two threats depend upon the outcome of the live implementation. NAWCAD is implementing technology that moves their logistics process to an integrative digital platform, with multi-generational teams cross-training each other on the use of this technology in collaborative workspaces called labs. The majority generation is baby boomers, defined as 54 to 72 years old, followed by Generation X, defined as 37 to 53 years old, and then Generation Y, also known as millennials, defined as 18 to 36 years old. The initial view of potential barriers to implementation are environmental, organizational, and individual factors, with each factor intertwining with the next. NAWCAD's greatest concern is the multi-generational workforce. Let's discuss the theoretical framework, our research approach, and the conceptual model developed from the theoretical lens. The theoretical framework used for the discovery process in the systematic review is the Technology Acceptance Model, or TAM. Research shows the basis of any technology acceptance is how the user reacts to the implementation, the intent to use the technology, and actual usage, NAWCAD's primary goal. The constructs of the TAM model used to develop our research question are shown in blue. External variables are those outside parameters affecting system acceptance. Perceived usefulness is the degree to which employees believe the system will affect their job performance, and behavior or attitude is actual intent to use the technology. We've used an evidence-based methodology throughout our research. This process involves the transparent and rigorous identification, collection, and synthesis of the best available evidence to aggregate facts and findings for decision making. The initial research question is derived from direct input provided by NAWCAD. Using this question, each member of our consulting team completed an individual rapid evidence assessment, or mini research project, based on one aspect of the research question, ranging from generational attitudes towards technology, to multi-generational teams, to environmental factors affecting technology adoption. The results of the REAs were analyzed, and a refined research question was developed for the systematic review. The systematic review process is more detailed and, according to ScienceBlog's evidence-based management pyramid, is ranked at the top of the research design pyramid, as it is high in quality evidence, which, in turn, decreases risk of bias. A quality assessment of the literature meeting the inclusion criteria was performed, and the best 20 articles are included in the review. The thematic synthesis of this evidence is the foundation for our conceptual model and recommendations. This figure shows the 3 stages of the systematic review: planning the review, conducting the review, and reporting the review, and the steps involved at each stage. Based on the thematic coding of the systematic review literature, we find a multi-generational workforce or generational characteristics are not major factors in technology acceptance. What the evidence does show is that users' perceptions of new systems are complex, and if not supported by management or proper training provided, technology acceptance is reduced. It also shows that employees need to trust IT personnel and management in addition to having organizational support. Research findings across all 20 studies indicate perception in all three facets are affected by organizational factors. Improved implementation can be accomplished by increasing trust. According to the literature, trust is defined as a belief in an attribute of or willingness to believe the trustee. Without it, perceptions in each category may become negative, resulting in relationships that impede the effectiveness of the new system installation. By grouping these perceptions and organizational factors as inputs, we increase the output of acceptance. This conceptual model aligns with TAM as the desired behavior or attitude is technology acceptance. Trust fosters technology acceptance and the long-term goal of infusion. Our evidence-based research resulted in some key findings. First, collaboration and knowledge sharing are based on individual and environmental factors rather than generational characteristics. According to Cheech and Zizek, problems typically associated with the generation gap are much smaller than thought, as they are usually based on unsubstantiated claims and stereotypes. Activities that promote intergenerational cooperation, like motivation, employee engagement, and communication, work to overcome these stereotypes and create greater tolerance, cooperation, and understanding between the generations. Second, organizational factors such as mandatory adoption, culture, leadership, and early adopters, per DeLone and McLean, can impact perceptions in all three facets of the conceptual model. And third, addressing individual expectations and training preferences are important during technology implementation. Effort expectancy, defined as ease of use, and training to suit individual learning styles are positive predictors for intention to use new technology, according to Urich. Based on our research findings, we propose NAWCAD utilize the following to aid in the live implementation. Develop and conduct a survey to identify levels of technology proficiency and preferred methods of training. And, based on those survey results, develop a multifaceted training plan designed to address individual learning preferences. NAWCAD should also move forward with their plans to use early adopters. They should be used as team leaders, training facilitators, and mentors. Kawakami and Pari found that word-of-mouth sources on the perceived usefulness of innovation has the potential to expand the attributes adopters use to evaluate an innovation, potentially increasing perceived credibility. The implementation of the live technology should be supported by the organization's financial readiness. Adequate resources must be available. According to Obal, perceived financial stability plays an important role in the adoption scenario. Therefore, viewing technology adoption as a long-term investment would have a positive impact on the intention to adopt. Including the technology adoption as part of the organization's long-term strategic plan would also likely aid in improving the chances of adoption success, as well as including it within the existing change management process. To mitigate the risks of perceived complexity and the anxiety and uncertainty surrounding the technology improving the work environment, foster an open and supportive environment. Communication is critical to successful implementation. Communication and planning are important factors in long-term technology use and adoption. In NAWCAD's case, it is important that all messaging be generationally neutral and delivered at the lowest level of technology awareness. Here are several suggestions for communication plans at each key stakeholder level. Leaders should be provided with talking points regarding the implementation. They should also be available to engage employees directly. Employees should be provided with multiple opportunities and venues to learn about the technology, to ask questions, and to provide feedback or express concerns. Client interaction points should be identified, and those who engage with them should be trained and prepared to answer any questions. Evidence shows that consistent, continual communication takes the mystery and uncertainty out of implementation. People feel more comfortable and trust levels are increased when they are informed. We hope you found our research results and recommendations helpful in moving NAWCAD forward with the live implementation. We end our presentation with several questions offered as additional discussion or brainstorming points. Please let us know if you'd like EBM Solutions to elaborate on these or if there is anything we can clarify or expand on further for you. Again, thank you for providing us with this opportunity, and don't hesitate to let us know if we can be of further service. Thank you.